the best, you got them four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to another race night with the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Truck Series. The Dre Broadcasting Network welcomes you aboard the action train from Dover International Speedway here tonight. The Xtreme Motorsports 99 presents the Bar Harbor 170 for round 5 of the Camping World Truck Series. I am your commentator, Sean Zulu, and I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave Everly. How are you tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great, Sean. Ready for see how many victims the Miles the Monster can collect here tonight.
Oh yeah, last night this track, the Monster did collect a lot of drivers last night in the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N Series, and we're gonna see if the Truck Series is gonna beat that number or keep it lower here tonight. But Dave, start off by telling us a little bit about tonight's race, please.
Well, as you said, we are here at Dover International Speedway. It is a 1 mile track. Taking a look at the temperature, 78 degrees out, track temperature of 86, partly cloudy conditions with the wind north at 2 miles an hour.
And the drivers do have a 65% fuel limit, that is 65%, so we should expect to see at least 3 pit stops. Well, maybe at least 2 pit stops, I'll say at least 2. Because 3 some drivers might be able to make it on just 2, like we saw some drivers do last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And the drivers do have 1 backup truck, unlike the Pro K&N Series that has 2 backup cars. So once again, the drivers have 1 backup truck. Taking a recap from last week's race, the online sim racing network 114 at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round number 4. We had the 50 of Scott Mitton bring it home, all 5 of Tommy Amasi second. The 6 of Wetmore came out third, Travis Pryor 4th, Jamie Christensen 5th, Curtis Vollmer 6th, Zachary Krazer 7th, Chris Voiles 8th, Marty Ray 9th, and the 75 of Rusty Farrow did round up the top 10. And in that race, we had Hunter McDaniel take the pole and who led us to our first green flag run. And after that, everyone did just pretty much fight for the bottom lane, for the inside line, as soon as the green flag had flown, to avoid losing spots, because the outside line is a very slow lane to get to work in the beginning, but it does come into play the longer the run goes. We had so many battles throughout the track as the draft and the fine weather conditions did keep the drivers close together, and all night long. And we had a lot of battles because of that. And also a battle for the lead on lap number 15 between Hunter McDaniel and Tom Wetmore did give us our first lead change of the night. We also had some green flag pit stops with Adam Eisenhower and the 64 of Michael Knight being the first drivers to pit in on lap number 28. We had some trouble on the track on lap 38 as James Peterson lost traction coming off pit road on turn 2. And he lost control and hit the wall and had to tow down a pit road. But that did not bring out a caution, and that was a nice save on James Peterson's part. And up front, we had some contact between Zachary Kraser and Hunter McDaniel, which did cause a pileup and giving us our first caution of the night on lap 74. So we went 74 laps before our first caution last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And towards the very end, it came down to fuel conservation as the drivers all backed down. We had Tom Wetmore, Tommy Amasi, Marty Ray, Scott Mitten, Travis Pryor. These drivers were all saving gas, trying to make it. And 3 drivers ran out of gas, actually, had to coast to the start-finish line. Tommy Amasi, Tom Wetmore, and Marty Ray did run out and had to coast down to the finish line. But it was an amazing race overall, and Scott Mitten did have his first win last week. All 5, Tommy Amasi, his second top 5. Tom Wetmore finishing 3rd, Travis Pryor 4th, and Jamie Christensen in the 5th place spot. But moving on to our current season standings, we do have Tom Wetmore still in the lead, Rusty Farrell from 3rd place to 2nd, Scott Mitten from 7th to 3rd this week, Michael Knight from 5th to 4th, Jacob Bell from 4th to 5th. We have Marty Ray new to top 10 here in the 6th place spot. Vernon Bradley from 2nd to 7th. Damian Crump and Tommy Amasi both tied for the 8th place position in points. 11 of Ken Ladd still 9th. And Curtis Vollmer and Brian Wasserman both tied for the 10th place position in points. And looking at the points right now, we have a lot of drivers who are separated by only 1 to 2 points, or I should say 1 to 3 points here in the top 10. We have Rusty Farrell and Scott Mitten, 2nd and 3rd in points, only separated by 1 point. Michael Knight, Jacob Bell, separated by 1 point. Jacob Bell, Marty Ray, separated by 1 point. Vern Bradley, Damian Crump, Tommy Amasi, all spread out by 2 points. Tommy Amasi, Ken Ladd, Curtis Vollmer, spread out by only 3 points. And Ken Ladd, Curtis Vollmer, and Brian Wasserman separated by only 1 point. Moving on to tonight's race here, ladies and gentlemen, we are once again at Dover International for the Bar Harbor 170 with the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Truck Series. As the drivers are currently gridding up, we will give them a few seconds before we go down the list. And we do see some fans there in the chat. Timothy Petito, good to see you, buddy. It looks like we are ready here for the grid, and so far on the pole we do have the 49 of Nathan Shiflett, 81 of Travis Pryor 2nd, 65 of Marty Ray 3rd, the 24 of Chris Gibbu 4th, the 19 of Andy Starcher 5th, the 29 of Matthew Rosenbach 6th, 11 of Ken Ladd 7th, the 97 of Garrett Robinson, last night's winner in the Pro Can-Am Series 8th, the 28 of Chris Voiles 9th, and the 48 of Curtis Vollmer 10th, and that currently does round up our top 10. That's 16 of Jamie Christensen, who did round up the top 5 in last week's race at Charlotte, starting 11th. David Wise 12th, Zachary Kraser 13th, the 27 of Justin Roden 14th, the 12 of Damian Crump 15th, the 6 of Tom Wetmore 16th, the 50 of Scott Mitten 17th, the 77 of Jacob Bell 18th, all 5 of Tommy Amasi 19th, and the 75 of Rusty Farrell, who rounded up the top 10 in last week's race at Charlotte, currently rounding up the top 20 here in tonight's grid. The 7 of Brian Wasserman 21st, the 5 of Gary Woolbosch 22nd, the 71 of Chris Thorman 23rd, 64 of Michael Nice 24th, and I believe John Hilston is race control, and all 3 of Don Kidder Jr. will be starting in the 25th place spot, and that will round up a whole entire field here tonight. 25 different race trucks at Dover International. The question once again does remain, how many victims will be claimed by the track here tonight? We do see Jason Eisenhower checking in the chat there. Good to see you, Jason. Well, we are now rolling off pit road, ladies and gentlemen, being led by the 49 of Nathan Shiflett. Travis Pry warming up those tires, trying to avoid spinning them on this restart of the Drive for Autism, or the Autism Awareness paint scheme. Very, very nicely dressed. And 65 of Marty Ray will be behind the 49 of Nathan Shiflett. The 24 of Gibby behind the 81 of Travis Pryor. Well, we are entering turn number 3, going green for the first time, this time by 470 laps. That is 170, 65% fuel limit for the Bar Harbor 170. The Xtreme Motorsports 99 Camping World Truck Series. The pace car leaves the racing surface. Nathan Shiflett still holding pace speed. 81 of Travis right beside him. The 49 of Shiflett puts it down the floor. He does catch him off guard. 65 of Marty Ray with a fit from the mistake of the 81 of Pryor and 24 of Chris Gibu here before turn 1. And Marty Ray drives it in hard, but takes the 81 of Pryor here before the exit of turn 2. Travis has a chance to fall in line, but he has his 24 of Chris Gibu on his inside. He's going to try and hold him off before the restart, or before the line. They almost make contact off turn 4, but they're able to stay off each other. 81 of Price on the outside, 24 of Gibby on the inside line. Travis drifts way high, he lets him take it, then goes back down to most likely get the over and under, but was not close enough to make a difference or make it work. Behind them, we have 97 of Garrett Robinson, who is in turn behind the 29 of Matthew Wozenbach with a very, very bright looking green Outlaw Toyota Tundra. Very, very nicely dressed as well. And for the back in the pack, the 11 of Ken Ladd on the outside line, on the inside with the 97 of Andy Starcher, who is left up high and dry, losing spots left and right.
Yeah, most definitely taking a look here. Tom Wetmore is on the move already in that 6th machine of his. He started in 16th, has moved all the way up, almost into the top 10, running in that 11th position as he is making moves here. On the 28 of Chris Boyles, he is going to take that position and move his way in. Meanwhile, the 16 of Jamie Christensen starting 11th, dropping a little bit back there, running in 13th. He has got Zachary Kraser all over him, but right behind them you got Damian Crump, Scott Mitten, Jacob Bell, and Tommy Amessi.
At 28 of Chris Boyles gets hard into the wall there on the exit of turn 4. He was able to bounce off it. A little bit of damage on that right side, but he will go from front, well, from top 10 to bottom, that's below the top 10 here in one lap. And he does catch a break here in front of the 27 of Justin Rodden, who just rides behind to let him maintain it, to try and catch up to the leaders before they end up going a lap down. It's one of Chris Thorman here in 25th place spot. Last try. Oh, we have one driver spinning. Oh, 3 Don Kidder hard into the wall. Is that going to bring a caution? Nope. Surprisingly, he was sideways. Dave, if we can, let's please back up on 03 of Kidder so we can see what happened.
Well, we are going to go back here, take a look at the 03 of Don Kidder here to see exactly what happened as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay. Looks like he just got loose coming out of the turn. Just kind of riding there, coming out of turn number 4. Yep, he gets loose, overcorrects it, gets up into that outside wall. Little damage, but he's able to keep it going and keep it green flag.
And Dave, for the investigation, he had a perfect exit to turn 4, but all of a sudden his rear end just snapped around. By looks of it, it was a little bit of a curve. It's that bump you spoke of there on the exit of turn 4 in last night's race for the Pro K&N series, but that's very unfortunate for the 25, for the 03 of Don Kidder Jr., who at this point is now being shown 15 seconds behind the leaders. And right now he's coming down the floor, trying his best to not go a lap down, because it's very easy to go a lap down at a track this fast.
Yeah, especially it's only a mile track, so it don't take long to get around here. These guys are running 22, 23 second lap times, so it don't take very long at all.
And Dave going for the back here into the front of the pack. The 7 of Brian Wasserman having a Sunday drive behind the 75 of Rusty Farrow, who is in the 18th place position. And so far we have the 05 Tommy Amasi from 16th all the way to 19th place. These guys are within less than a second of each other. So they're not too wide right now. They're just pretty much riding. And we do have Pat T, as usual, cheering on the 81 of Travis Pryor, currently in the 4th place position. And Travis did an amazing job last night in the Pro K&N cars, Pro K&N series, after having some bad luck early on. and tonight trying his best to have an even better race than he did in last night's race. And going for the back up front, the 48 of Curtis Vollmer here, trying to catch up to the 81 of Travis Pryor, but he does have a motor roaring in his rear view mirror. It's going to the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. These guys so far just content with riding, and they're essentially right on the in car with the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach, just so we can see exactly what it takes to get around this track with the trucks. And we do see Timothy Petito in the chat there. We'll be starting my 4th championship run. Congratulations on that, Timothy. Already got 3 under my belt. That's very impressive, brother.
Yeah, meanwhile, we are watching the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach running in the 6th position, but see him working that wheel, getting this truck to rotate here in the turns. He is kind of working that wheel real hard here, coming through these turns.
Absolutely, and so far he's actually trying to follow the line of the 48 of Curtis Vollmer and trying to correct any mistakes that Curtis Vollmer might be making, if any. But so far, Curtis Vollmer is doing an amazing job of keeping that gap consistent, and so far Dave, the leader, 49 of Nathan Shiflett, has actually increased his lead to over a second against the second place driver, 24 of Chris Gibbs. Last time I checked on these drivers, it was about 2 laps ago on lap 13. The gap was about half a second, 0.5 seconds. And now that's going up to 1 second. So Nathan is not playing games here tonight. He is trying to most likely even lap this field if possible.
Yeah, he's putting it real good, but this is still the early stages of the race. Tire wear is going to start taking effect here. Probably start taking effect right about now. So we're going to see lap times kind of drop off a little bit here, as these guys will have to fight tire wear.
Yep, and I am glad you talked about that tire wear. Last night in the Pro K&N series, we noticed that even 11 laps on tires does make a big difference in how much grip these drivers have. And the drivers now do have 17 laps on their tires. That's a lot more than 11 laps compared to how we saw the 11 lap old tires take effect on the drivers last night. Like 31 of Andrew Riley there in the Pro K&N series did stay out to lead some laps and decided to stay out even longer. As soon as it went green, he did lose the spots. He went from 1st place to 7th place in only a matter of 2 laps. Right now, the 24 of Chris Gibbs, Dave, has upped his game. Is now maintaining, actually cutting down the lead of the 49 of Nathan Shiflett. At the same time, Shiflett is catching up the back of the pack. Looks like he has in sights the 03 of Don Kidder.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gibbs got to watch, though. He has got the 81 of Travis Pryor all over him, as they have pulled away from the rest of the field. But Travis Pryor is running step for step there with the 24 of Chris Gibbs, even though Chris Gibbs is actually catching Nathan Shiflett, but he is bringing the 81 of Travis Pryor with him.
Oh yeah, so far doing an amazing job. Yep, they have gained, they're now about 2 seconds over the or ahead of the 4th to 7th place drivers, namely Marty Ray, Curtis Vollmer, Matthew Welzenbach, and Tom Wetmore. Holy cow, 81 of Travis Pryor almost slap taps the wall. That was hugging him, but he jerked his root to the left to avoid smacking it. Very nicely done. And by looks of it, he didn't lose any time because of that whatsoever. And going for the back in the pack, we do have 59 of David White having a Sunday drive behind 75 of Rusty Farah. And so far, it's just pretty much a single foul cluster from 10th place all the way back to the 18th place position with David White.
Yeah, most definitely. These guys learn you got to be patient here at Dover. If you get a little impatient and make the wrong move, it's going to come and bite you. So these drivers are just kind of riding, learning how the truck is dealing, especially getting a feel for the truck on older tires.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, these drivers right now, yeah, it's a good thing for them because they will get used to knowing how the truck performs in the long run. And maybe some drivers might even consider taking 2 tires, but that might not even be a good idea, Dave.
Well, we'll see, Sean, because I think pit strategy is going to be a very key component. We are also going to learn exactly how far these guys can go on a tank of fuel, especially a mile track. So we're not quite sure of the pit stop, but I think we're going to see some green flag pit stops.
Oh, I am really hopeful, David. I'm sure you are too. And last week at Charlotte, can't really compare Charlotte to Dover, but I'm just trying to compare it here with pit strategies, pit stops. We did see some drivers go 38 laps max on a fuel tank, and that might be even a lot different compared to here tonight. So the drivers might even go over 45 laps, but it's going to be very, very difficult to tell. We just can't wait. We have maybe 10 to 15 more laps. I'm guessing 10 to 15 more laps before we start seeing green flag pit stops, and that's going to be lap 35 through laps 40. So that is something to look forward to. And we have a new driver here in the top 20, the 64 of Michael Knight, trying to make some headway, catching his next victim in line, the 7 of Brian Wasserman.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean. These guys are putting on a clinic here. They're showing how it's done. 26 laps and our first caution of the night.
Oh, David, 59 of David White did make some hard contact with that wall off turn 4. So that he claims another victim there, turn 4. Let's focus on David White on replay if we can.
Well, as we go back to the Dre Broadcasting replay, he is going to hit that outside wall there on 4, shooting down into the inside there. So he is going to get some heavy damage from that, but it looks like Miles the Monster has claimed another victim here at Dover.
Absolutely. Second victim claimed. I'm sure a few more victims to come before this race is over tonight. And by the looks of it there, David White had a very, very good exit. But by the looks of it, his truck did end up pushing just right before he got to turn 4. And once he saw that wall coming up close in his windshield, he did try and back off, but it was way too late. And now the leader, Nathan Schiffer, does take them takes them all down to pit road. We're going to have anybody staying out. It doesn't look like it so far. And cautions are very, very quick at a track like this. So we are going to get an interview here quickly. Let's try and focus on the 19 of Jamie Christensen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the honor of speaking with the 16 of Jamie Christensen. Get up there, buddy.
Yeah, I got a copy. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Just trying to keep it off the wall and keep it going down the track.
Oh, that's all you can do to try and win this race. Having a doing amazing so far. Last week, Charlotte, you did bring it home in the 5th place position. Very nicely done. And you talked about how you wanted the momentum to carry over to here tonight at Dover International. But how's the track feeling? How's the track feeling in practice and in qualifying?
Track feels good. The low line seems to be where it's at. I mean, you can run that high line too, so but it's just not as fast. And these guys are running the low line, so I'm just trying to get in line and stay out of trouble and just kind of work my way to the front.
Oh, sounds good, Jamie. And Jamie, during practice when you were running some laps with your truck, did you actually have any practice in the long run? And if so, how did the truck feel? Did it loosen up or tighten up?
Yeah, it tightened up quite a bit, but I've been playing around with the brake bias, trying to get some advantage going into the corners, bringing that down a little bit. So hopefully, just if we get that long run, just gonna have to back up those corners and come down on the brake bias a little bit, help me get around the track.
Well, Jamie, I'm glad that you do, but it sounds like you do have it all figured out. And buddy, last week you did amazing, and look forward to seeing the exact same performance, and if not better, here tonight at Dover International. Well, brother, get back the driver's seat and make us proud.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks.
And that was 16 of Jamie Christensen, currently in the 14th place spot, finishing in the 5th place position last week in the fuel mileage race at Charlotte International. Well, Charlotte Motor Speedway, not International. But going back up front now, we do have a new leader, the 81 of Travis Pride, taking over the race lead away from the 49 of Nathan Schiffer. And that does give us lead change number 1. But Dave, I'm pretty sure Nathan is not happy about that.
Yeah, but still got a long race, so I mean we can see anything here. We are going to be led by Travis Pryor, but it looks like they're going to come around here as they are back to 1 to green, getting ready to go green flag racing here on lap 31.
Yep, the 81 of Travis Price scrubbing those tires like he was doing last night in the Pro K&N series. We saw a couple of drivers actually spin their tires on the restart. So these drivers definitely trying to avoid that, scrubbing those tires, putting as much heat as they can into them so they can be able to avoid that wheel spin on the restart. But we do have the 81 of probably 24 of Gibbs right on his rear end. On the outside is the 49 of Nathan Shiflett, our previous leader, with the 65 of Marty Ray right behind him. Well, we are going green for the second time, this time by on lap 30. One score start is going to be lap 31, and that's going to give us 140 laps to go, 140. Let's do it.
Well, base car bringing them through turns 3 and 4, as you said, ready to go back. Green flag racing here at the Monster Mile. Dover International Speedway being led by the 81 of Travis Pryor on the inside. Nathan Shiflett on the outside. Travis Pryor gets a good jump. So does the 24 machine of Chris Gibu. But I tell you what, Nathan Shiflett saw it coming. He is going to jump down into that lower lane. But look right there. Here comes the 6 of Tom Wetmore as he is looking to the inside of Marty Ray, trying to take that way at number 4 position away.
Speaking of Tom Wetmore has come a long way in tonight's race, starting 16th, and he is now in the top 5 now, behind the 24, actually 65 of Marty Ray. Nope, that's 24 of Chris Gibu for the 4th place position, and Marty Ray was able to catch a break, going from 3rd place to 5th place in 1 lap here. He's gonna try his best to maybe get back those spots that he just lost. To the back in the pack, the 50 of Mitten trying to make some moves against the 97 of Robinson.
Yeah, these guys are all running single file. Don't really see any battling going on. They are just kind of content on riding. We still have 138 laps here remaining. We have completed 33 laps here tonight for the Bar Harbor 170, brought to you by XtremeMotorsports99.com. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see, you like how these drivers are, check them out at XtremeMotorsports99.com, and don't forget to leave out the E.
Absolutely, XtremeMotorsports99.com. They do run K&N Series on Monday nights, K&N Series and the Road Series, and the Road Series features Street Tuner class and Grand Sport class, which would be the Ford Mustangs and the Mazda Miata MX-5. So road course and Pro K&N Series on Monday nights. On Tuesday nights, it's the trucks right here. On Wednesday nights, tomorrow night, Online Sim Racing Network, on Online Sim Racing Network on YouTube, they do run Xfinity Series, and on Thursday nights, also on the Online Sim Racing Network, they run the Cup cars, so the Cup Series. So you guys have unlimited entertainment coming to you live by the Xtreme Motorsports 99, and they also have a Dirt Series coming up here in the near future. So that definitely is something to look forward to. But once again, like Dave, I talked about XtremeMotorsports99.com. It does have everything you need to know about them. So you guys will always, if you have any questions, you can actually contact the admins using that website. Going back to the race here with the 27 of Justin Roden, currently being shown 18th, keeping a low profile so far in tonight's race, and he does have the 64 of Michael Knight in his sights and his next victim in line.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful. Tommy Amasi is trying to get to his inside there. He's not quite able to get there, but he is on that back bumper. Tommy Amasi is looking to get around him, so he has got to not just worry about Michael Knight in front of him, but now he's got to worry about the 05 of Tommy Amasi behind him.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of Tommy Amasi, he did finish in 2nd place last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and that was his highest spot that he's finished in so far this far in the season. Before that, he had 2 top 4 finishes in a row, and now he was able to bump them higher by 2 spots, finishing in 2nd once again. So tonight, he definitely is hungry to go 1 more spot higher to have his first win here at the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Truck Series. But he has the 5 of Gary Woobot right behind him. That's the one of Chris Thorman, who was in 21st, who started 23rd, is now currently 21st behind Gary Woobot. Just having a Sunday drive. Chris Thorman as well is a man of a few words. We don't really see much of him up front. He is a mid to rear pack runner in the beginning, but then when it matters the most, you do see him up front like most of the drivers like Gary Woobot, and also the all-5 Tommy Amasi, Michael Knight, the drivers who just ride in the back for the longest time before they make their way up to the front. The 50 of Scott Mitten as well up front here in the 11th place spot, trying to get his nose into the top 10 behind the 48 of Curtis Vollmer.
Going back up front here, though, I mean, we have got a battle here. The top 5 guys running real close. Still being led by the 81 of Travis Pryor. 13 laps sled. Nathan Shiplet in second. Tom Wetmore third. Chris Gubu fourth. And Marty Ray rounding out your top 5. But tell you what, right behind them, they have the 29, Mr. Super Speedway. Matthew Walzenbach running. Not too far off, and right behind them, there's Ken Ladd. But he is coming under fire from the 97 of Garrett Robinson.
Yep, Garrett Robinson once again getting his first win last night in the Pro K&N Series, trying to have his first win here tonight as well, or here in this series, the track series of the Xtreme Motorsports 99. He gives a lap tap to the 11 of Ken Ladd. He lets him know, I'm right behind. If you make a mistake, I will take it with no hesitation.
Yeah, most definitely here. 128 laps remaining. These guys have been green flag racing here for 16 laps, so they are putting it out here. Taking a look here at the 77 of Jacob Bell. He's got Andy Starcher and Jamie Christensen right behind him for 13th, 14th, and 15th position. So, I mean, these guys are just kind of running single file here. Looks like a little further up here, Curtis Vollmer is under fire from the 12 of Damian Crump. Damian Crump is looking to his inside. Garrett Robinson right there to capitalize if any room. Yep, he is going to get to the inside of Curtis Vollmer. No, Curtis Vollmer is going to slam that door shut.
And holy cow, Dave, Curtis Vollmer got mighty loose there on the exit of turn 4. By the looks of it, when you exit turn 4 using the high line, it does snap your track around. So you are better off going from low to high while exiting turn 4 from the low line to avoid that big bump that has claimed 2 victims so far tonight. 03 Don Kidder and the 59 of David White. And so far, Curtis Vollmer trying to take back that 9th place spot away from 12 of Damian Crump, the previous leader in points of the Pro K&N Series. The 05 of Tommy Amasi, big run, actually 50 of Scott Mitton, that is, sorry, against the 48 of Vollmer. Looks to his inside and moves him up the track there in between turns 1 and 2. 48 of Vollmer still occupying his outside line, not letting him go, but he backs off the entering 3, most likely to set him up there on the exit of turn 4. Yes, he gets a big run on him. He might have him for turn 1. Nope, looks like that gap just pretty much stays consistent, and now his next victim, or the victim of the 50 of Scott Mitton, will be the 12 of Damian Crump there in the 9th place spot.
Tell you what, jumping here to our side view of Scott Mitton, just seeing how close he is getting to that apron there. He is almost down on that apron, but he is going to get to the inside there of Damian Crump, trying to take away that position as they are now battling side by side.
Yeah, the 12 of Crump does stay high. 50 of Scott Mitton on the inside line. 48 of Vollmer almost hit both of them and had to back off. But 50 of Mitton makes a pass successfully against the 12 of Damian Crump, who does a crossover move. Is going to try to, yes, it looks to his inside line here. It's a battle for the 9th place spot. They're trying, going at it. The 12 of Crump moves the 50 of Mitton up the track. Since it drifts way too high, the 12 of Crump will benefit from that, and so will the 48 of Vollmer.
Yeah, most definitely. These guys, 22 laps since their last pit stop under the yellow here, going back up front. Looks like Travis Pryor is still leading over Nathan Shiplet and Tom Wetmore. They've kind of spread out a little bit here, but I think this battle here, we're going to keep an eye on this, Sean. I think we're going to be seeing this all night with Pryor, Shiplet, and Wetmore. And maybe even Chris Gubu and Marty Ray and Matthew Walzenbach, because they're not really that far apart.
Yep, they do have each other in sights, and Dave, we had some position changes between the 19 of Andy Starcher and the 39 of Zachary Kraser. Looks like Zachary Kraser got bumped up into the 12th place spot. Actually, that's going to be the 16 of Jamie Christensen overtook the 19 of Andy Starcher and bumped himself up to the 13th place spot, and Andy down to the 14th place position. And Andy Starcher as well not having too much luck in last night's race, the Pro K&N Series, and the caution flies here on lap 2. Gonna back up, see who might have been involved.
Well, Sean, that looks like that is going to involve the 05 of Tommy Amasi. As we pull up our Dre Broadcast Team instant replay here, we are going to focus on the 05 of Tommy Amasi. I do believe he was involved there. Looks like he made contact with the apron coming out of turn number 4. got that back end around. He went down and made in contact with the inside wall. Just a little front end damage, nothing too major.
Absolutely, he was able to lock those tires up. Just pretty much lock it down to minimize the damage. So it shouldn't be too bad. It's not as bad as it looks. Probably not. So he will most likely be able to go down pit road, get a few seconds of optional repairs done by his pit crew there. So just so he can, most likely all cosmetic damage and nothing performance-wise. But going back up from the 81 of Travis Pratt still in the lead. 49 of Nathan Shiflett second. The 6 of Wetmore third. Marty Ray fourth. And 24 of Chris Gibew in the 5th place position. And the 81 of Travis Pratt is going to lead them all down pit road, and let's see if anybody stays out. So far, every single driver is deciding to stay out, but we do have the 59 of David White, who will be staying out because he is 3 laps down. Most likely going to be getting some laps back under this caution. And he also has the... Oh! Looks like the banking worked against David White. He smacks the gas pedal and the truck goes sideways up the track. But he was able to back it down in time to avoid causing damage to that machine. And he gets the wave around the pace car. Nope, not yet. He is catching up to it. Yep, he finally gets a wave around the pace car. He's back now to 2 laps down from 3 laps down. Very impressive. And I'm not sure what happened to 28 of Chris Voiles, but he is on pit road as we speak. I'm not sure he's getting any damage fixed because he does have a brand new truck by the looks of it. And most likely could be something related to the electronics in the truck. But we look forward to him getting back out on the track and putting down some more laps the best he can. But going back up front, 81 Travis Pratt was able to beat everybody off pit road. Actually, no, 49 of Shiflett beats him off pit road, so Nathan Shiflett does take the race lead back away from Travis Pryor here on lap 55. And the 05 of Tommy Amasi, after leading a lap, going down pit road with 28 laps on his tires, so he can be back on the exact same strategy as everybody else with a full tank of gas and 4 tires. And Dave, our heaviest movers here in the top 5, that would include the 6 of Tom Wetmore from 16th place to 3rd, gaining 13 spots this far. We also have the 50 of Scott Mitten back there after the top 10 from 17th to 9th. And Garrett Robinson from the 8th place spot and rounding up the top 10 this far. And further back in the pack here, we do have a 77 of Jacob Bear with the LimeCreativeDesign.com paint scheme on that 77 machine. Very, very nicely well dressed. And David White as well was able to go down a pit road, got some service, and is now back on the racing surface. So he's hoping for 2 more cautions so he can be able to get both his laps back and be back on the lead lap to try and race these drivers for the lead for positions. So he can try his best to work his way up into maybe the top 20, top 10, even top 5.
Yeah, most definitely, as these drivers now are getting to 1 to green, getting ready to go back green flag racing here at Dover. We are going to be led by Nathan Shiflett on the inside, Travis Pryor on the outside. Row 2, Tom Wetmore, Marty Ray. Row 3, Chris Gibew, Matthew Walselback. Row 4, Ken Ladd, Curtis Palmer. And in the 5th row, Scott Mitten and Garrett Robinson.
Yep, and Matthew Ozenbach does have the 11 of Ken Ladd on his inside, so they will be battling for that position as soon as the green flag flies before turn 1. Those drivers on the bottom always try their best to get to the bottom as soon as they can, because the more time they spend on the high side, the more time they lose, the more spots they lose, and the more speed they lose. But right now, they are getting bunched up nice and tight, going green. Well, Dave, do the honors.
As the pace car dips off there, being led by Nathan Shiflett. He jumps that gas, but so did the 6 of Tom Wetmore. But I tell you what, Travis Pryor fighting back on the outside. Going to close that door on the 6 as they are bumper to bumper.
I'm not sure what happened to the 6 of Tom Wetmore, but it does seem as though he has sustained some body damage on the right rear of the machine. Nothing major, so it shouldn't affect him whatsoever. We have had one driver retire early for the night tonight at 28 of Chris Voice. Oh, the leader for now, Chipman gets hard into the wall of turn 4. 81 of Pryor was trying to take advantage of him and looks to his outside, but looks like he was too late making that move, so he goes back down low to most likely set him up off turn 2. Yes, he moves him up the track, looks to his inside. It's going to be a battle for the lead. 6 of Wetmore goes high, leaves the door open for 65 of Marty Ray to occupy it. They're still side by side off turn 4. They almost made contact, able to stay over each other. Let's see who leads this line. Nose. Travis Pryor was able to lead this lap by a nose here by 0.001 of a second. Bad net code. Bomb makes them force contact there. The 49 of Shiflett gets wrecked off turn 2. I couldn't speak there for a second. It's even bigger wreck happening with the 49 of Shiflett and a couple of more drivers as it bounced off the wall due to the forced bad net code.
Well, as we pull up the Dre broadcast and replay, we are going to focus on the 49 of Shiflett. See if we can see exactly what happened. They were side by side. He gets into that wall, comes down into the 65 of Marty Ray, and that just starts a chain reaction right behind them.
Ooh, actually I did say a bad net code, but I guess it was not bad net code. There was some contact between Travis Pryor and Nathan Shiflett, but yeah, definitely unfortunate for every single driver involved in that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is now lap number 61 of 170. We have 110 laps remaining. We'll take our first commercial break of tonight's race. I'll be right back, so stay tuned.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bar Harbor 170, part of round 5 of the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Camping World Truck Series. Going back to tonight's race, we are still being led by the 81 of Travis Pryor, the 6 of Tom Wetmore 2nd, Marty Ray 3rd, Garrett Robinson 4th, and Jacob Bell rounding up our top 5 so far. And looking at my stats right now, the top 13 drivers stayed out, but everybody else behind them did go down. Pit road 11 of Ken Land, unfortunately, as well, was caught up in the incident. That brought out the caution. But so far, other from Travis Pryor down to 13th place, that's going to be the 19 of Andy Starcher. All these drivers, once again, did stay out, so that's going to give them 7 laps more on their tires, but I'm not sure how much of a difference that's going to make. But 11 laps yesterday, last night in the Pro K&N cars did make a quite a difference, but I'm not sure if we can really compare the trucks to the K&N cars as much as we would love to. But further back in the pack as well, the 77 Jacob Bell has come a long way tonight from 18th place to 5th. Michael Knight making his way up into the top 10 for the first time from 24th to 7th. Rusty Farrer from 20th place to 8th. Justin Rodden from 14th to 9th, and Don Kidder here back on up to pace from 26th to 10th. And we do have the 1-2 green mark here in the 65 of Marty Ray. Some heavy damage on the machine. Holy cow, that does look bad. But hopefully he's still able to keep up the pace. Shouldn't affect him too much, if any. And this restart in the lineup, we have the 81 of Pryor with the 65 of Marty Ray right behind him. On the outside is the 6 of Wetmore with the help of the 97 of Garrett Robinson here, the top 5.
Yeah, most definitely the 97 there, Garrett Robinson. He's come from the back here, running there into 3rd position, so, or 4th position, I mean. So he is going to have to give some help to the 6 of Tom Wetmore. We see that inside lane, though, getting the advantage of being on the restart.
Absolutely, a lot of drivers will be fighting to try their best to get down to the bottom lane to secure their spots, to avoid losing more spots, to avoid losing any spots even. But the pace car dips off here. They don't have Pryor downs up the pace quite a bit, spreads out the field. But these drivers are getting bunched up once again. The 81 Pryor puts it down to 46 of Wetmore. Doesn't see it coming. 97 Garrett Robinson gets a better start than 65 of Marty Ray, who gets a lap tap from Jacob Bell. Looks like Marty Ray's damage might be affecting him after all. On that restart there, he was a little bit slow getting up to speed. And Jacob Bell will ride his rear view, but looks to his inside. Off turn 2, Marty Ray stays high to let him by.
Well, we just saw the 81 of Travis Pryor get into the outside wall. That is going to slow him down and allow the 6 of Tom Wetmore, Garrett Robinson, and Zachary Kreiser to get around him. That is going to drop him back into the 4th position. Don't see too much bad damage on the back of that 81 machine, so I'm sure we'll see him back up front again.
Yep, and his next victim right now, he's trying to work against or work on the 39 of Zachary Kreiser there off turn 4. He does top the apron, it slows his line, it interrupts his race line off turn 4, and that causes a gap in between him and Zachary Kreiser to increase. At the same time, Jacob Bell applying pressure to Travis Pryor. Jacob Bell goes to the inside of Travis Pryor, and Travis Pryor stays high. His inside of Pryor, they stay side by side between turns number 3 and 4 off turn 4. Let's see who has it. Oh, Travis Pryor has a better exit. Jacob Bell backs off to avoid pushing towards the wall. That did allow Travis Pryor to maintain that 4th place, but at the same time, it's been Rastafari catching out to Jacob Bell in a hurry.
Yeah, going back here in the back, it looks like Nathan Shiflett. We've seen him lead already tonight, 31 laps. Currently running back into 21st position. He has got to work his way through the field to get back up front there after having a really good start to the race here, as we are getting ready to come up here. See, we've got 102 laps here remaining still, though.
Yep, still a long way to go for these drivers. And the 6 of Wetmore, I believe, has given us our 5th or 6th lead change of tonight's race, and a lot more lead changes to come. And for the back in the pack of 24 of Chris Gibbeu trying to apply pressure to the 16 of Jamie Christensen. Jamie as well in turn trying to apply pressure to the 19 of Andy Starcher. $16 of Jamie right now, just studying the movement of the 19 of Starcher, trying to figure out the best way to set him up to try and take it from him and make it seem as though he is sitting still in the process. And up in front of them we have 27 of Justin Rodden, who is riding behind 64 of Michael Knight. Michael Knight goes high against 65 of Marty Ray, who stays low to let him by. Marty Ray goes down the apron. Dave most likely pitting in. Yes, he is pitting in this time by. Maybe to get the damage fixed, because he just had 17 laps in his tires, and I believe we did see some drivers go up over 25 laps before pitting in.
Yeah, most definitely going back up front here. We have the 6 of Tom Wetmore. He has got the 97 of Garrett Robinson all over him. Garrett wants to lead here, as we've seen him last night take the win in the K&N Series here at Dover. So he is wanting to do a double effect here tonight. But Tom Wetmore is doing a good job of holding him off, as they are battling, but they are pulling away from the rest of the field.
Oh yeah, so if Garrett has seen that, he most likely is going to be trying to just ride, and once they're maybe about, I don't know, 2 to 3 seconds ahead of everybody else, maybe they might start going at it for that race. And speaking of Garrett Robinson, he did talk about, during last night's interview, he talked about how he was practicing with his team a lot, and that practice did pay off for him last night in the K&N series. And he also had some practice here in the trucks. I bet he had some practice in the trucks. So that's even double or triple the practice, or quadruple the practice. So he does have something against these 6 of Tom Wetmore. So Wetmore has to be on his toes to try and defend his spot. But further back in the pack, we have the 19 of Andy Starcher, who has a lot of drivers behind him. 24 of Give You, the 16 of Jamie, who are battling. They're trying to go 3 wide here against the 19 of Andy, but they do back off to go back 2 wide. Andy maintains the outside line. You must oh, he smacks the ball there. 16 of Jamie goes sideways. He gets a little bit tapped there. And I believe we did have some bad net code, and the caution will fly here on lap 76. Let's back it up on Jamie Christensen and see what happened.
Well, as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay here, let's see if we can get a close shot here. See exactly what happened. The 16 and 19 side by side. Looks like the 16 checked up. The 24 had nowhere to go. Tried to go around him. Gave him a little bit of tap, but I'll tell you what, the 16 did a good job at locking it down. Keeping it down there and letting everybody go by, but not too much damage to that truck there, Sean.
Yep, not too much damage indeed. He did an amazing job of counter-steering it and locking it down to avoid maximizing that damage. So he did minimize it. He did an amazing job on that. Actually, I don't even see a single scratch on it, Dave. So, yep, he got out of that unharmed. That's very, very impressive. And he will be staying out an extra lap to avoid going a lap down. But the 6 of Tom Whitman is going to lead everybody down pit road. Well, everybody except for the 97 of Garrett Robinson, who decides to stay out to lead a lap this time by. And Garrett has the 11 of Ken Ladd right behind him, and Ken Ladd as well is for position. And both drivers have over 15 laps on their tires. So I'm pretty sure Garrett's going to be going down pit road once he gets his lap led, as he just took over the race lead here on lap 78. We have one driver getting the wave around the pace car. It's going to be the 59 of David White. David White going back to 1 lap down. Actually, I believe David White is now back on the lead lap.
Yeah, the 59 of David White got the wave around the pace car. He is back on the lead lap, giving us 21 trucks back on the lead lap.
Yeah, congratulations to David White, despite his bad luck there in the beginning, causing him to go 3 laps down. He was able to pull through that, get all laps back, and is now back up here to spank these guys for that race lead, for this race win here tonight. The Bar Harbor 170 with the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Truck Series. Well, going back up front here, 24 of Gary Robinson still deciding to stay out. He's going to be pitting in this time. Let's see. Nope, does not look like it. So he will be staying out, and so is the 11 of Ken Ladd. So the 2 leaders, Garrett Robinson and Ken Ladd, staying out with over 15 laps on their tires, and everybody else behind them with less than 2 laps. And 16 of Jamie Christensen was able, oh actually he's still behind the pace cars, because I almost said he was able to get his lap back. I guess he'll have to wait once we go 1 to green. And speaking of Jamie, Jamie does have 17 laps on his tires as well, same as the top 2 drivers, Robinson and Ken Ladd. And also the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. being shown a lap down in 21st place position.
Well, we're going to see how effective tires are here. As you said, the first 2 guys stayed out. Garrett Robinson, 24 laps. Ken Ladd, 17. Tom Wetmore back in 3rd position. The first car on fresh tires. So we are going to see what 15 laps plus laps on a set of tires does against a truck that has brand new stickers on.
Yeah, this is worth the comparison right here. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens, and we're going to see if it plays out the same way it did last night in the Pro K&N series, the Extreme Motorsports 99. And we'll be coming 1 to green, and once that happens, the 16 of Jamie Christensen will be getting his lap back. He's going to be back on the lead lap, but one thing about that, Dave, is he's not going to be able to go down pit road to get some service.
Yeah, it's going to put him a little bit of an advantage, but he is back on the lead lap. He's probably hoping on a quick caution to be able to get down and get some service. Meanwhile, Garrett Robinson is going to elect to start on the outside. This restart putting the 11 of Ken Ladd on the inside.
And that's one good thing about being a leader, is that you do get to decide where you want to start, and at the same time you do control the start. Just like we have seen so far, the drivers are not always going on green, so they are catching a lot of other drivers off guard. It's a good way to spread out the field. And the 6 of Wetmore will be behind. The 11 of Ken Ladd. On the outside is Garrett Robinson with the help of the 12 of Damian Crump. Damian Crump's first top 5 in tonight's race, all the way from 15th place position. So he has come a long way, same as the 6 of Tom Wetmore. But we are now entering turn 3, going green, this time by. A pace car dips off. Garrett still holding pace speed. 11 of Ken Ladd trying to match his speed. The 6 of Wetmore, 12 Damian Crump punching it up. The 97 of Robinson puts it down before he does catch him off guard. 11 Ken Ladd caught sleeping. The 6 of Wetmore goes to his inside. Nobody bumps him to wake him up. But he will stay. They'll stay single file here. Entering turn 1. The 6 of Wetmore most likely trying to set up the 11 of Ken Ladd once they get up to speed. For the back in the pack, the 12 Damian Crump falls in line behind 50 of Scott Mitten. And behind Crump is his 39 of Zachary Kraser back here in the top 10.
Yeah, most definitely here. Travis Pryor running there in the 7th position. Still within striking range, so he's just kind of riding here. 89 laps to go as we are getting close to approaching the halfway point.
And David 6 of Wetmore was able to get around the 11 of Ken Ladd, and that bumps Tom back up to 2nd place. Ken Ladd down to 3rd. Actually, looking at Ken Ladd, he actually lost 2 more spots, so he lost 3 spots in total. The 50 of Mitten and the 12 of Crump. 50 of Mitten right now all over the 12 of Damian Crump, making his presence known in his rear view mirror. That 12 of Crump most likely at this point feeling the pressure, trying not to make a mistake, because the 50 of Mitten will benefit from that mistake greatly. That's one thing about a track like this, is that you every time someone makes a mistake, you do benefit from that, and you do just pretty much look forward to other people's mistakes.
Yeah, most definitely showing here lap 84 of 170, 87 laps to go. Scott Mitten to the inside of Damian Crump. He is going to get that position away. No, they're still going to be nose to nose here, but here comes Scott Mitten. Gets a good run on the exit, on entrance and the exit of the turn, but Damian Crump trying to fight back.
Yep, Crump to the inside of 50 of Mitten. Mitten stays high to let him have his inside, and they'll be side by side. But 50 might have a slingshot off turn 2. Yes, he does have a bigger slingshot, but they still stay neck and neck. Entering turn 3. Though off turn 4, there is a very, very big bump there, so let's see what happens. The 50 Mitten backs off to let the 12 of Crump have it. Tries to do the crossover move, not close enough to make a difference. So he just rides nose to tail with him. But going back up front, David lead change. The 6 of Wetmore was able to get on the 97. Garrett Robinson here on lap 86.
Yeah, most definitely. But Zachary Kraser on the move up into the top 5 as he is able to get around Ken Ladd. Travis Pryor coming with him, the 24 of Chris Gubu, as they are all getting around Ken Ladd there. Is Zachary Kraser is kind of like on a mission out here. He is doing really well here tonight. Just kind of riding here in the top 5. Like I said, we still got halfway to go, so we still got some time out there, Sean.
Yeah, time we do have, and Dave, I'm so surprised right now. Yeah, I just noticed, actually, I did the calculation that Garrett Robinson actually has 23 laps more on his tires compared to the 6 of Wetmore, but he's still somehow being able to maintain or keep up with Tom so far.
Well, I do know from talking to the 97 of Garrett Robinson earlier today, he put in a lot of laps here at Dover in the trucks to try to get a feel for it, but it looks like they are definitely paying off here, as he is keeping pace here with the 6 of Tom Wetmore. But actually Tom Wetmore is starting to pull a little of a gap. Nope, here comes Garrett Robinson with a good run off of turn number 2.
Yep, so far it seems as though Garrett is very, very strong on the exit to the 6 of Wetmore there under pressure. Garrett trying to take back that lead. That was rightfully his. The 97 Robinson gets a little bit sideways there off turn 4, but not enough to be noticeable. He didn't, most likely did not even feel it inside the cockpit. And for the back in the pack, the 81 of Travis Brown making some moves despite his bad damage on that machine. He's now up to 5th. Last time I checked, he was back there in the 7th place spot. The 24 of Chris Gibby also behind the 39 of Zachary Kraser, and so far just pretty much riding single file.
Yeah, most definitely is. Looking at our top 5, Tom Wetmore, Garrett Robinson, Damian Crump, Scott Mitten, Travis Pryor, all very good drivers. But that does not take away with anybody else in the field. Is I tell you what, they have a stacked field here in the Camping World Truck Series here at Xtreme Motorsports 99.com.
Yeah, absolutely. Just goes to show how much fun these drivers have. They do come back week after week, and the fields get nothing but bigger. And the drivers here trying to take it up from 6 of Tom Wetmore. And Wetmore does have more competition than he did last season. So far he is trying his best not to be too comfortable just yet. And there for the back in the pack, the 7 of Brian Wasserman being overtaken by the 6-4 of Michael Knight, 19 of Andy Starcher, getting freight trained on the outside. Brian Wasserman losing 3 spots here in 1 lap right now, trying to hold up the 05 and Massey. He did drift way high off turn number 2 there, and 65 Marty Ray is going to try his best to take advantage of it.
Yep, he's going to bring the 48 of Vollmer, also the 71 machine of Chris Thorman. So he is just not sure if there's maybe a tire issue with the 7 of Wasserman, but he is just getting pushed further and further back through the field.
Absolutely, definitely could be the case. So maybe he's just pretty much trying to get a feel for the truck here on lap number 94, but very, very difficult to tell. I'm sure once once it's go time, things will change in his truck and his driving style. But right now he rides behind the 48 of Vollmer. At the same time, he has an engine roaring 71 of Chris Thorman. Chris Thorman coming out of nowhere in 16th.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are beyond the halfway point. 75 laps remaining here at the Bar Harbor 170 in the Xtreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series. We are going to take a minute here, step away for some quick words from our sponsors. Give everybody a chance to refill your drink, refill your snack, and we will be right back.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bar Harbor 170, of part of round 5 of the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Camping World Truck Series. Going back to tonight's race, we are still being led by the 6 of Tom Wetmore, but he has increased his leads to over 3 seconds against the second place driver 97 of Garrett Robinson, who now just got bumped down to the 3rd place spot by the 81 of Travis Prime, moving up to the 2nd place position. So I guess those tires are now finally kicking in, because at this point, Dave, he has over 50 laps on his tires.
Well, we know they can do 50 laps now here, so that'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out here in the final stages of the race, since considering we only got 64 laps remaining.
Oh, absolutely. And from those calculations, we should expect to see one more pit stop in order for these drivers to be able to make it all the way. Also have to keep in mind that Garrett was running some of those laps under caution, so my guess would be the pit window is in between, it's safe to say, in between laps 40 through 50. Yeah, I'll keep it at that, but don't quote me once when I'm wrong in the upcoming few laps. But the back in the pack here, Zachary Crazy moving up to the top 5 in the 4th place spot behind the 97 of Garrett Robinson. He does have the 24 of Chris Gibbio as well, who in turn does have the 50 of Scott Minton, applying pressure. And these 4 drivers, Chris Gibbio, Scott Minton, Damian Crump, and Zachary Crazer, these drivers are within less than a second of each other. So they do have each other in sight, and if any of them makes a mistake, others will benefit from it without any hesitation. And for the back in the pack as well, we have 64 of Michael Nice making his way up to the top 10. Also the 48 of Curtis Vermont. For the back in the pack, he does have some heavy damage on the machine. Most likely is affecting him at this point, but he is still going nice and strong in 12th.
Yeah, most definitely, as these laps are ticking down. Taking a look at our race report, we have had 4 cautions here tonight, 6 lead changes. Right now, Tom Wetmore leading the most laps with 38 laps. Travis Pryor leading 33. Nathan Shiplet leading 31. And Garrett Robinson leading 8 laps.
That is very, very impressive right there. We're going to be seeing a lot more drivers trying to lead some laps. Once again, getting an extra bonus point. That extra bonus point does make a difference in the long run, or they use it, it makes a difference. It provides a safety barrier in case the drivers have some bad races, because the season is far from over, and these drivers do know that. And for the back in the pack, 05 Tommy Amasi making a charge against 48 of Curtis Fulmer. He has been charging against him here for a couple of laps, but right now finally making a move against him. They'll be side by side here. The 48 of Fulmer stays high to let him by, entering 3. And the 7 of Brian Wasserman for the back in the pack here, being shown about almost a second behind 71 of Chris Thorman, but he does have 16 of Jamie Christensen. Jamie Christensen as well was a driver who was involved in the last caution we had, and he didn't have a chance to pit in because he chose to stay out to get 1 lap back. He's now back on the lead lap here, but has a lot of laps on his tires, so he most likely is hoping for a caution, same as Garrett Robinson and the 11 of Ken Ladd.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sean, looking here, Garrett Robinson has done 59 laps since his last pit stop, now 60. We are 56 to go. These guys could pit anytime and should have more than enough fuel to make it for the race. So the question is, how long are they going to push? As we are going to take a look here at the 6 of Tom Wetmore, as he's starting to catch up to some lap traffic, starting with the 03 of Don Kidder Jr., but he is now pulled out to 4.2 second lead over Travis Pryor.
Oh yeah, and something tells me once one driver pits in, it's gonna influence everybody else to do the exact same thing. But so far in this series, we've noticed that the 6 of Wetmore is usually a driver. Oh, the 03 almost taps the wall once. The 6 of Wetmore was getting around him, but he was able to stay off it. Very nicely done by 03 of Don Kidder. But like I was saying, the 06 of Wetmore is a driver who usually likes to run his tank dry or close to dry. So he doesn't usually pit in the first chance he gets, but he pits in towards the very end of the last chance that he gets to pit in. So we should expect to see him do the exact same thing here tonight. He gets around the 5 of Gary Wu, but at this point he's putting almost the whole entire field a lap down, one at a time.
Yeah, he's just picking his way through the field here. Tell you what, Tom Wetmore must have ate his Wheaties this morning, because he is just checking out. Chris Gibu running there in 4th, Scott Mitten 5th, Damian Crump 6th. Kind of spread out. I'm not really seeing right now, Sean, any real close battles here. As we should start seeing maybe some green flag pit stops here before long.
Speaking of green flag pit stops, Dave, 97 Gary Robinson down pit road, being the first truck to go down pit road for his first green flag pit stops of the night, including the 65 of Marty Ray right beside him. Gary's right side goes up, the right sides are taken, left side goes up, 4 tires, full tank of gas, most likely set for the end of the race. David White down pit road as well there, currently showing in the 20th place position. And we're going to see how many laps down these drivers will be going after they go down pit road, because when they do pit in, they usually go at least 1 to 2 laps down, because once again the drivers are running about 22 to 23 second lap times.
Well, Sean, I am showing right now the 97 of Garrett Robinson is currently 2 laps down, so looks like under green flag you will more likely lose 2 laps, considering of how fast these lap times are. They are still running right about mid 23 to high 23 second lap time.
Oh, absolutely. But once those green flag pit stops all cycle out, once everybody has pitted in, those drivers will be able to get their lap back if they maintain their pace. And we have more drivers going down pit road. 48 of Curtis Vollmer, Justin Roden, Jamie Christensen, Don Kidder Jr., Andy Starcher. I believe I said 48 of Curtis Vollmer, but no, that's false. Curtis Vollmer is still racing, and I do apologize. Everybody else is Andy Starcher, Justin Roden, and Don Kidder, all down pit road as we speak. Dave, I just now saw this, but the 49 of Nathan Shipley has been on pit road for a very long time as a brand new machine. Not sure what's going on in his truck. Could be something something electronically related. But he is being shown 24th, 45 laps and dropping. That's very unfortunate. He was very, very fast here tonight. He did take the pole.
Yeah, definitely. We did see him lead the first 30-some laps here, but since then, we saw Travis Pryor leading some laps. He's in 3rd. And right now, with leading the most laps at the very moment, the 6th of Tom Wetmore with 51 laps, is we have 46 laps here remaining.
Yeah, 46 laps remaining. 12 drivers on the lead lap here. We do have the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach being the last truck so far on the lead lap in the 12th place position. And speaking of Welzenbach has sustained a lot of damage today. I'm pretty sure we missed it, but something terrible happened to the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. That front end is beat up quite a bit. And Welzenbach most likely being affected by the damage, because the damage on the front end like that usually does affect the ability of the car or the truck to rotate in the turns. His next victim in line is 59 of David White. Actually, David White is being shown 3 laps down, so that's no harm to Welzenbach. And David right now trying to get around the 71 of Chris Thorman and the 77 of Jacob Bell. David White right now trying to get around the 71 of Chris Thorman, but Chris Thorman not letting him go without a fight. He will fight inside. And David White is going to be forced to make a pass on the outside line. Usually it's nearly impossible to make a pass again on the outside line. But 71 of Thorman does back off because the chain reaction behind him, so no wasn't back. And the 16 of Jamie Christensen getting to it due to that big checkup on the inside. Holy cow, what a save.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean. What a great save. But right now, as you said, only 12 trucks on the lead lap. Garrett Robinson, the first truck, 2 laps down there in 13th. So he is just waiting for the rest of these green flag pit stop cycle. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be seeing a lot more green flag pit stops here at Dover.
Oh, Dave, a lot of hearts bumping out there. The 6 of Whitmore has caught the back of the pack. 29 wasn't back a lap down. Wasn't back was the last truck a lap down. And now his next victim in line for going 1 more lap down or going a lap down. 71 of Chris Thorman. That's exactly why the 16 of Jamison has put his hammer down the floor. And speaking of Jameson, he has pitted in, so he has newer tires, so newer laps. Well, he has less laps in his tires, so he has more grip compared to the 6 of Wetmore. And as we speak, Jamie is working his way through this field, getting his laps back the hard way. Jameson right now, his next victim is 59 of David White. Oh, some bad net caught between them. Holy cow, they were able to bounce off each other unharmed. And that does still keep the green out there, as that incident was kept to a minimum. Very, very nice done by these two drivers. And speaking of David White as well, he's trying to get on the 7 of Brian Wasserman, who in turn is getting around the 48, or at least trying to get on 48 of Curtis Baum, who stays high to let them by. We have more drivers down pit road. Zachary Crazer, Michael Knight, Damian Crump, Rusty Farrell. And also Travis Pride going down pit road, and Travis giving away his second place position to going down pit road. And now we only have the 2 leaders that still need to pit in, Tom Wetmore and the 24 of Chris Gibbeu.
Well, Sean, we also got to see Curtis Ballmer's Walzenbach and taking a look here. And also Jacob Bell will need to come down pit road. He has got 54 laps on his tires as well.
Oh yeah, the question remains, when will these drivers come down to pit road? And the 6 of Wetmore going down low, most likely trying to pit in as we speak. Nope. Oh yes, he was trying to pit in, Dave, but he misses the pit entrance. He has no choice but to go around one more time. He's going to lose a lot of time because of that, and Dave, that's going to make a lot of drivers happy. All those drivers who were able to get around him here and get their laps back the hard way.
Yeah, most definitely. So, but as we said, Sean, 36 laps to go. It's getting go time, especially with a short track like this. So, just anxious to see what happened. The 6 of Tom Wetmore is down on pit road. Also, the 7 of Wasserman down on pit road as well.
Yep, and the 97 of Gary Robinson was able to get his lap back. Well, one of his laps back. He was 2 laps down, like David talked about when he pitted in. But he's now back to 1 lap down. And most likely going to be getting his 2nd lap back here. And so far, Garrett is being shown the first truck a lap down. The 29 wasn't back there. Gets his brand new backup truck. He is still in it to win it after having a lot of heavy damage before the first run of green flag pit stops kicked in. So he's very happy, and I'm sure I expect to see him up front, giving the 6 of Wetmore, Chris Gibbeu, Curtis Vollmer, Gary Robinson a run for their money before it ends.
Well, as the 6 of Tom Wetmore comes off pit road, the 97 of Garrett Robinson is going to pass him and take over the race lead. Zachary Crazer is going to move up into the number 2 position. Travis Pryor in 3rd, Tom Wetmore 4th, and Scott Minton will round out your top 5.
Yep, and Garrett so far just most likely hoping that the lap traffic slows down Garrett. Well, Tom Wetmore hoping that the lap cars slow down Garrett. At the same time, Garrett hoping that Tom Wetmore has some bad luck in the lap cars himself, just so they can both benefit from each other's mistakes. And Zachary Crazer here currently 2nd, catching up to 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. And speaking of Matthew Welzenbach is being shown the first truck a lap down, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get his lap back here before the race is over.
Well, he is going to try, because we know Matthew, he doesn't give up. We are going to take a look here at the 97 of Garrett Robinson, still running 20 laps, and I tell you what, looks like Matthew Welzenbach is going to get back on the lead lap, as he has only got 4 laps on his tires. So he's got right about 17 laps less than Garrett Robinson does.
Oh, absolutely. Once that long run kicks in, actually, well, he is behind the 97 of Garrett Robinson, just now saw that. And Garrett goes high to let him by. Garrett realizes that's not for position, that's no harm done to him. So he will let him by without a fight. And right now, 29 was about trying to put his hammer down the floor to go around the whole track and get back around the 97 of Gary Robinson. That will be for position. That will do some harm to the position of the 97 of Robinson. And Robinson will go inside the 19 of Andy Starcher, who will stay high, but puts in a hard fight without going a lap down. And this Dodger finally lets the 97 of Garrett Robinson go, and that does put him at 1 lap down. So Garrett is now going to be the first truck a lap down here on lap number 141 with 30 laps remaining, and most likely it might be go time for these drivers. Not expecting any more cautions. So far they are trying to take and give less.
Yeah, most definitely here. Garrett Robinson taking a look. He is right about 8/10 ahead of Zachary Crazer, but Zachary Crazer is closing that gap, as we just seen it 8 seconds. Jumps back up, then he drops it back down to right about a half a second. So he is gaining on our leader, the 97 of Garrett Robinson.
Oh, he is gaining on him, and he's bringing the 6 of Wetmore, 81 of Pryor with him. And both drivers do have brand new trucks. 81 of Pryor was beat up before the round of green flag pit stops, but he was able to get his brand new one. Same as the 29 wasn't back in the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. So these drivers are back up to speed. Speaking of 48 of Vollmer, status check on him. He's back in 11th place, trying to catch his next victim in line, who is 5 seconds ahead of him. That's 64 of Michael Knight, and Michael Knight as well is a second behind his next victim in line, the 05 of Tommy Amasi for 9th place. Further back in the pack of 5, Gary Woobot here going nice and strong in the 16th place spot. And Gary Woobot has sustained some right front damage on the machine, most likely due to smacking a wall. That's usually how they get the right front damage at a track like this. Turn 4 is not your friend. It has claimed a lot of victims. It claimed at least 3 tonight. And Turn 2 claimed 1. Well, I guess Turn 4 has claimed 2 victims. And the third victim was taken by turn number 2 there on the apron. That was the 05 of Tommy Amasi. So far these drivers doing well, beating the track and not letting the track beat them.
Well, we have had some more lead changes here. Zachary Crazer leading his first lap. Just after he led it, the 6 of Tom Wetmore was able to get around him. Here comes the 81 of Travis Pryor as they are working their way around lap traffic. These guys are within inches of each other, but I think it looks like Zachary Crazer is holding up the 81 of Travis Pryor just a little bit. Travis Pryor trying to get around him.
Yep, Travis Pryor very, very anxious to get the job done. The now Crazer does go way wide. He got loose. Because of that, he let off the gas to try and gain control of the machine, and he did so, but that did slow him down enough for the 81 of Pryor to take advantage of it. But Zachary Crazer to the inside with the crossover move, textbook maneuver right there. He goes to his inside, entering turn 3, but 81 of Pryor drives in harder and clears him before turn 4.
Yeah, these guys are battling hard out. I mean, 22 laps to go. We're only looking probably about another 10 minutes and this race will be over. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, of course the magic number 170, that will end the race. But any flag after lap 166 will end the race. So these drivers know that. Is Tom Wetmore is back out front leading 66 laps. Travis Pryor 33 laps. Nathan Shiflett 31. Garrett Robinson leading 17. And Zachary Crazer leading 1 lap here tonight.
The 6 of Wetmore Dave catching up to some more traffic, catching up to the back of the pack. His next victim in line 16 of Jamie Christensen. But Jamie Christensen as well is mighty fast at this track here tonight. So he is trying to get around the 29 who wasn't back. And that last caution that Jamie was involved in did really set him back a lot due to him having a different pit strategy compared to everybody else, or him having 23 laps more than everybody else. That did set him back a lot. So right now he is trying to make the best out of everybody. I mean, trying to make the best out of every moment so far, trying to not get lapped. And he does have enough motivation because 6 of Wetmore is right behind him. The 29er wasn't back as well here, being shown in the 12th place spot behind the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. And they have the 11 of Ken Ladd here in their sights as well. 11 of Ken Ladd as well, having some bad luck here tonight. Being shown 6 laps down in 22nd place. He will exit to the high side, but they are catching him at a very, very fast rate. And looks like Ken Ladd is trying to get 1 lap back so he can battle his next victim or his next opponent in line for position, the 71 of Chris Dorman. Oh, Ken Ladd smacks the wall off turn 4. That's going to be another victim claimed by the wall in turn 4. The 6 of Wetmore there goes inside the 11 of Ken Ladd, and Ken Ladd did go high. Let him have it. We now have 17 laps remaining. It is go time for these drivers. Anything can happen. It's not over until it's over. These drivers doing good so far, but that goes from good to bad, but to good in a hurry. If they're not careful enough, the 39 of Zach getting around the 11 of Ken Ladd, who just pretty much let them by without any fight whatsoever. And the 16 of Jamie just went a lap down as well to the 6 of Tom Wetmore, who was able to lap all of them at the same time. 81 of Travis Pryor is trying to charge against the 6 of Tom Wetmore, but they are spread out about 1 second.
Yeah, it's 15 laps to go, Sean. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty. Who is going to want it more? Does Travis Pryor have anything for Tom Wetmore? Does Zachary Kreiser have anything for Travis Pryor? I mean, there's still a lot of time, enough for a lot of battles, so a lot of answers are going to be answered here very shortly.
Absolutely, that's very nicely said. And holy cow, the more the laps wind down, the more excited I get, and the more excited the racing gets, because that means the drivers are now giving it their all to try and be in the best spot possible, where they want to be when this thing is over. Like Dave, I talked about. Well, after lap 166, any flag will end it, or any flag after that ends the race. So that means these drivers are gonna take more and give less, and that gives even a lot more racing. And for the back in the pack, 05 Tommy Amasi being shown about, looks like 4 seconds. Yeah, 4 seconds behind his next victim in line, the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. At the same time, he has an engine roaring in his rear view mirror. It's 29 of Welsenbach. Welsenbach has the leader right behind the 6 of Tom Wetmore. Welsenbach will be the next car going a lap down if overtaken by the 6 of Wetmore. But right now, Welsenbach going on the inside of the 05 of Amasi, who lets him have it. And the 29 Welsenbach right now trying to avoid going a lap down before this thing is over. We have 11 laps remaining. Next time by is the 10 lap to go mark. It has been go time for the last 60 laps for these drivers here. We have some drivers down pit road. We have the 11 of Ken Ladd pitting in as we speak.
Well, 10 laps to go, Sean. It's go time. There ain't no ifs or buts about it. These drivers know that, and those crew chiefs are telling them, go, go, go. Put that pedal to the metal. Let's pick up as many positions as we can, as we are 10 laps to go here. Right in front of Tommy Amasi, we see a truck get into the wall. I do believe that was the 81 of Travis Pryor, I think, got into the wall. Yes, that was the 81 of Travis Pryor getting into that outside wall, but able to keep that truck going with just some scrapes as he is riding in that number 2 position.
Yeah, Travis Pryor having some bad luck with the wall tonight. That's his second wall impact of turn 4, but he's still saying no to that wall. I'm going to win tonight's race. I'm going to take it away from the 6 of Tom Wetmore, so he cannot have another win here in the Camping World Truck Series. And these drivers do have something against him before the season is over, to try and make sure he doesn't take the championship home again. And for the back in the pack, we do have Garrett Robinson trying to hold off a lot of drivers. He has the 50 of Scott Mitton next in line, and once again, Garrett is at a very big disadvantage due to him having a lot more laps on his tires compared to everybody else.
Yeah, most definitely here. 6 laps to go as the 6 of Tom Wetmore just crossed the start-finish line. Taking a look at our top 10, we have Wetmore, Pryor, Kreiser, Gibu, Robinson, Mitton, Crump, Farrell, Vollmer, and Knight, rounding out your top 10 here with soon 5 laps to go.
Yep, and these top 10, Dave, are the only drivers on the lead lap, and Michael Knight being the last truck on the lead lap. We have one driver on the apron. Let's see who that is. I actually missed that number. That's going to be the 97 of Garrett Robinson. He went the bottom lane. Not sure what happened there. Most likely was trying to pit in. Yep, he did back up. Davey was trying to pit in, but he did overshoot the pit entrance, just like Six of Wetmore did during the green flag pit stops. So he has no choice but to go back around. Because of that, he's going to lose a lot of time. And the speed is getting nothing but lower, Dave, in his truck. Dave, I think Robinson is saving gas, or either right now, because that engine is silent. I can hear it roaring every now and then, but it's silent for the most part.
Yep, he is making his way down on the pit road here with 3 laps to go.
He has 49 laps on his tires, so it looks like everybody else is going to be able to make it, but he couldn't, unfortunately. That's sad to see for Garrett, but he has done an amazing job in tonight's race, and the next flag ends the race. We now have 3 laps remaining here. The Six of Wetmore has a 1.6 second lead over the second place driver, 81, of Travis Pryor, and both of them, well, Six of Wetmore is now about 2.6 seconds ahead of the third place driver. And at the same time, Zachary Kraser is a third place driver and is catching up to the 81 of Travis Pryor by the looks of it. The 12 of Damian Crump for the back in the pack stays high, letting the 11 of Ken Ladd go by without a fight. Ken Ladd being shown in 9 laps done, but still going nice and strong. He just got off pit road not too long ago, got some tires, so right now he's just pretty much overtaking these guys as though they're on jack stands.
Well, Sean, 6 of Tom Wetmore coming through turns 3 and 4, coming to the checkered flag. 6 of Tom Wetmore is going to take the win. Travis Pryor is going to finish second. Zachary Kraser will come out in 3rd position here tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to 6 of Tom Wetmore here tonight at Dover International Speedway. Travis Pryor second, despite him falling prey to the wall twice there on the exit of 4, but he was still able to hold off the drive for the most part, pull off some amazing green flag pit stops, finishing second. Zachary Kraser third, Chris Gibb fourth, and Mitten once again fifth, like Dave had talked about. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be interviewing the top 3 drivers: Tom Wetmore, Travis Pryor, and Zachary Kraser. So stay tuned. As we do watch the 6 of Tom Wetmore, tonight's race winner, burn that sucker down. Well, once again, we are joined by Tom Wetmore, Travis Pryor, Zachary Kraser, and a special guest, 75 of Rusty Farrow, finishing in the 7th place position. We will start with tonight's race winner, the 6 of Tom Wetmore. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing awesome, Sean. Happy to be here, man.
I can only imagine. Well, Tom, tonight you had your hands full. You had a lot of drives. You had to get around to get to the lead. You went from 16th place to the lead in only a matter of number of laps. You had to battle a lot of drivers, the 97 of Gary Robinson, who seemed to have been your biggest opponent so far in tonight's race. And looking at your stats from last week at Charlotte, you fell just a little. You fell in 3rd place and was just pretty much coasted to the start-finish line because you did run out of gas there on the last lap on the exit of turn 2. And this gives you your 3rd win, 4th top 5, and 4th top 10. How's your race tonight, buddy?
I mean, I think you said it. There was definitely a lot of passing cars tonight, and a lot of respectful drivers here at XtremeMotorsports99.com meant that we could go green flag for a long time. Guys like Travis Pryor and Garrett Robinson, they started running me down at the end of the run because I would just melt that right front off, and it definitely was fortunate to bring home this win this evening.
Yep, I am glad that you had some good luck there with the lap traffic. We did notice that you were just pretty much weaving in and out of them. At that point, once the round of green flag pit stops had cycled through, your job was now to get around the lap traffic and catch the 97 of Garrett Robinson, who was the leader at that point. And speaking of the pit stops that you guys had tonight, it seemed as though you ended up missing the pit entrance. What happened there?
That loose nut behind the wheel just doesn't know what he's doing. Made a horrible driving mistake coming in the pits and stepped on the brakes and realized there's no way we're gonna make that. So took a 5-second lead and turned it into being 6 seconds behind the leader. So definitely a bad mistake that I'm sure my crew chief's gonna be giving me hell for.
I can only imagine. And at that point, did you see yourself finishing in the top 3 like you did tonight?
I saw myself praying for a caution and finishing about 8th. So to be able to rally back and the leaders get stuck back in lap traffic, I mean, yeah, we might have been in the right place, but it was definitely a lot of luck that allowed us to run the 81, the 39, and the 97 back down. So definitely huge props to those guys for being able to run awesome races.
Well, buddy, congratulations on your 3rd win, 4th top 5, and 4th top 10. Before there you go, buddy, final words.
As always, man, I just got to thank you guys. You guys do an outstanding job putting these broadcasts on every single week. And happy to get this 2017 Silverado, this Trade Broadcasting Network truck, back here in Victory Lane in Delaware. So thanks a lot, guys.
Congratulations again on your success tonight there, Tom. And look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas Motor Speedway.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a great evening.
And that was tonight's race winner, the 6th of Tom Wetmore, defending champion as well. But right behind him is a not-so-lucky driver this season, but he still comes up out here and puts on a heck of a show and just pretty much gives these drivers a run for their money. 81 of Travis Pryor. You got a cup there, Travis?
Yeah, I do. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Pretty exhausted after that race right there.
I can only imagine, Travis. You fell victim to the wall-off turn 4 twice, but you were still able to keep your foot down the floor and resist it as many times as you got close to it. But give us a summary of your whole race tonight and everything you went through.
Yeah, it was definitely a little different from the race last night. Car would be a little tight on exit, and then sometimes last second it will snap loose on you. So it was definitely a challenge to keep it going around in one piece right there. Struggled a few moments tagging that wall coming out of 2 and 4, but you gotta run these cars as hard as you can and still try to conserve those tires to keep up with these guys right here.
Oh, absolutely, and brother, you do an amazing job every single time. You did lead a couple of laps here tonight, and having a 1-2-2 across the board. 1st place practice, 2nd place qualifying, and 2nd place towards the end of the race here tonight. That's a success in my book. And looking at your race from last week at Charlotte Motor Speedway, you went from 4th place to 2nd place, gaining 2 spots higher. So look forward to you getting 1 spot higher next week at Texas and bring home the win. And this now gives you your 2nd top 5 and 3rd top 10 in the truck series. So I want to congratulate you on that. And how much experience do you have at Texas?
I have a pretty good amount of experience there. It's one of the first tracks I was racing at. So looking forward to that right there. I know it's going to be a totally different animal. Big momentum track. It's going to kind of come down to the same thing. Who's going to save those tires? Who's going to be able to keep that speed on the long run? Because I expect a good amount of green flag racing there. So I'm pretty excited for next week.
Well, brother, congratulations on your success here tonight as well. Look forward to seeing the momentum carry over, just like it carried over from Charlotte last week for the Online Sim Racing Network 114. I look forward again to seeing you next week at Texas Motor Speedway. And before you go, but any final words?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to you guys. Y'all do a good job broadcasting. It's great to listen to it and watch it later on. And, y'all do a great job. And again, I want to shout out my family members. My little brother of this truck, the autism awareness truck right now. Trying to get autism awareness out there from a little brother. Maverick Motorsports, great team over here. And I just want to say y'all do a great job.
Well, brother, we do thank you for the kind words, and it's good to see you coming back here every week, trying to have better races than you did the week before that and the week before that. It shows a lot of determination, and tonight you definitely did do an amazing job, just like every other time. Look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas. Have a good night.
See you. Thank you.
And that was the 81 of Travis Pryor, but right behind him is a 39 of Zachary Kraser. Good up there, Zach.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. I wish I would have finished a little bit higher, but can't complain with third.
Man, Zach, after everything you went through tonight, I am glad that you were able to, beat the track and not let it spank you, and just pretty much survive gaining 10 spots overall from 13th place all the way up to the 3rd place position. And how was the track feeling tonight, buddy? Was it tight, loose? Because we had a lot of different opinions from the drivers during practice.
I thought it was just, it was a little tight in the beginning, but I definitely had a long run truck. Definitely after about 10-15 laps, truck definitely came in. I could, pick off some spots, and just at the end there, just wore the right front out and just couldn't catch the 81 or 6 there.
Oh, 10-4. Well, you did give it your all. We did notice you were catching 81 of Travis Pryor, actually, before the white flag had flown. But it looks like you didn't have enough time to make a difference in that position. But you still did an amazing job regardless. And this now gives you your first top 5 and your 3rd top 10, which is very, very impressive. And how are your pit stops tonight?
Oh, yeah, they were really good. Had a good green flag pit stop. Just every time at Dover, you got to put 4 tires on. It's tires can be eaten up pretty quickly here, so put those 4 new Goodyears on and went out there and just tried to tame the track.
Well, it definitely did show in your performance here tonight in your car, your truck coming down here with some little bit of right side damage on that machine. But rubbing is racing. You did an amazing job. You have been at the racing surface, and that was a success tonight. And this was your highest position so far this season. So we want to congratulate you on that. You finished in 7th place last week at Charlotte. And moving up here in 3rd place, looking forward to you moving up 2 spots higher next week at Texas Motor Speedway. And speaking of Texas, how much experience do you have at Texas?
I've run there a lot of times. It's like last week at Charlotte. It's a similar 1.5 mile track. It's just gonna be taking your basically keeping the truck clean, missing all those wrecks, and just being in the right position at the right time, and trying to pick off that number 6 of Tom there. He's kind of dominating the last few weeks.
Oh, absolutely. Well, buddy, I want to congratulate you once again on success tonight. And before we let you go and final words.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody here at Xtreme, all the admins doing a good job. You guys broadcasting race. Just like to thank my teammates at Outlaw Jaeger, 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, and the 49 of Nathan Shiflett. Thanks for everything you do, guys.
Congratulations, buddy, on your success tonight. Look forward to seeing you again next week at Texas. Have a good night.
10-4, thank you.
And that was Zachary Kraser, and we are joined by a special guest who is 2nd in points here with the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Truck Series 75, Rusty Farrell. Got a call up there, buddy?
That was a very good race.
Oh, it definitely was. And Rusty, you kept a low profile tonight, but that low profile was you working your way towards the front. If you had some more time, definitely you'd have seen yourself there in the top 5 because you were gaining a lot on the drivers in front of you, namely Damian Crump and the 50 of Scott Mitten. But holy cow, how's your race tonight?
It was pretty good. I started in the back and thought I'd stay back there expecting a lot of wrecks and such, and after 25, 30 laps, I decided it wasn't going to happen, so I thought I'd better try to go to the front.
Oh, absolutely. I am glad that you did have enough time to change your strategy in time to gain a few more spots, get up there into the top 20, top 10, gaining 13 spots over from 20th place to 7th place. And this now gives you your 4th top 10. So I want to congratulate you on that. And in this week, you did move up to 2nd place in points from 3rd as of last week. But how's been your season this far, buddy?
It's been good. I love racing with these guys. I have to appreciate it a lot.
Oh, 10-4. Very, very glad to hear that. And should we expect to see more of you up here in the front with these drivers?
Yeah, they're fun to race around. You can trust most of them.
Oh, that is very, very good to hear, brother. Well, before we let you go, any final words?
No, just thank all the admins and this league altogether. I just love it.
Congratulations tonight on your success, Rossi, with the top 10, gaining 13 spots overall. Hope to see you again next week at Texas Motor Speedway. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you, Sean.
And that was 75 of Rusty Farrow, and that rounds up our interviews. Tom Wetmore, Travis Pryor, Zachary Kraser, and the 75 of Rusty Farrow. But our top 10 here, we had Tom Wetmore, Travis Pryor, Zachary Kraser, Chris Gibew, Scott Mitten, Damian Crump, Rusty Farrow, Curtis Vollmer, and the 64 of Michael Knight, and 29 Matthew Weisenbach. With 9 drivers finishing on the lead lap. That just goes to show how fast this track is, how easy it is to go a lap down. If you fall off the pace, one single mistake or one simple mistake can cost you. It is deadly. But these drivers, Dave, did try their best to tackle the track. We saw a lot less drivers get claimed by the track here tonight than we saw last night in the K&N Series, Dave.
Yeah, most definitely. It was a great race. We saw green flag pit stops. We saw it all tonight. We saw some double wide battles. We seen drivers move to the front, drop to the back, come back to the front. So it was an overall wonderful race, as usual, with the Xtreme Motorsports 99.com guys.
Absolutely. Very, very nicely said. And thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for the Bar Harbor 170. Part of round 5 of the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Camping World Truck Series. If you guys would like to be a part of the action, don't forget to check out XtremeMotorsports99.com. Drop the first E, just start with the X, XtremeMotorsports99.com. Once again, they do run road series and Pro K&N series, so you guys can join either one based on your preferences. You can also join the Tuesday night trucks here like we did have tonight. On Wednesday nights they run Xfinity series, and Thursday nights they run the Cup series, and they also have an upcoming Dirt series, so you guys can join either one based on your skill level. So the first level is the Pro K&N series, so the oval side. The next is the Truck series. Next is the Xfinity series, and the last one is the Cup series. And the Cup series is the best of the best, the highest drivers here on the iRacing simulator. And once again, Xtreme Motorsports next race will be next week at Longhorn, for the Longhorn 350 at Texas Motor Speedway. For the trucks, once again, Texas Motor Speedway, Longhorn 350, and thanks for joining us for the Bar Harbor 170. Next broadcast is going to be tomorrow night with the CRA Dirt Series. If you guys would like to see some dirt action, some sideways action, just check them out. It's going to be with Dave Everly and Tana Sharp, just like every Wednesday night. And we do see you guys in the chat there. We see Pat Tia, Nancy Wetmore. Thank you for the support. And also Timothy. That's going to be Timothy Petito. Look forward to seeing you guys again next broadcast. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get notified every single time we go live. We are live more than 6 nights, well, 6 nights a week now, and we're on the portal 2 of those weeks. So you guys do have unlimited entertainment coming to you live. But tomorrow night we have the Xfinity series, and on Thursday night with the Track series with Xtreme Motorsports. Check them out on Online Sim Racing Network. That's Online Sim Racing Network on YouTube, and OnlineSimRacingNetwork.com is the website with Joe White and Ryan Daniels. Thank you for watching us tonight once again, and see you again next race. Have a good night.